Welcome back, everybody, to SoftwillyTalks episode number 3. This is my channel where I ask you guys to really vent to me about something in my DMs that you really want help with, some challenge that we can overcome together and talk about, and possibly maybe somebody that's watching has the same challenge as you, and maybe we can, work this out together. Remember, I'm not really a professional. This is just based on my own experience. So if there is something that you are experiencing, such as suicidal thoughts or possibly even actions, or, definitely speak with someone who's a professional, please. But I can definitely try my best here and give my own advice on certain situations. In all honesty, if somebody does DM me a serious situation, I'm not gonna read it and then just include it into a video and wait for the response. Obviously, I'm gonna talk with them about it right then and there and try and help them right then and there. With that being said, it has been some time since I've been on this channel. I've been going through a rough patch in my life as well, and I've been having to work things out. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily right for me to kind of give advice without being able to listen to myself talk. I was living through some really hard times, and I felt like if I was giving advice as well, and I really wasn't applying what I was telling some of you guys to my own life, then that was just kind of not right. So I needed to get my own things straight before I wanted to come back to this channel, and now I'm back. And I'm glad to say that I'm back. I really do enjoy posting on this channel, and I know a lot of you guys like just listening to me talk or whatever it is. I want to try and keep this, as laid back as possible, as podcast-esque as possible. But with that being said, we're going to talk about our first question here. It says, for SoftwillyTalks, I need advice on how to leave a toxic friendship. I'm in love with the guy, but he treats me so poorly and pretty much is only super nice to me when he wants something sexual. I need hella advice. All right, so with this one guy, he's your best friend. I know that he's your best friend because of I know this person. I know who wrote this, and I know that they did mention something along the lines of him being her best friend, and you wanted to try and get out of this friendship. But this is a really hard thing, because if you're in love with that person, and you're in love with that person, obviously you're going to go up, down, left, and right for that person. But the very first thing to understand that's good is that you notice it, you recognize what's going on. And so I think that if you should probably for yourself be the bigger person and understand that if he wants something sexual, he clearly sees more of an object out of you than anything, and you need to stand up for yourself and tell him, no, that's not right. I'm not doing that. These are my feelings. And if you relay your feelings out and use your I statements that we learned in school, remember, use your I statements, I don't like that, or I feel this. If you use those I statements, I don't like how you're treating me, and they don't really care about that, that's on them. 100%. That's on them at that point. And I think that it's seriously, you got to bite the bullet and kind of back away from somebody like that, because they're draining. They don't really care about you like that. They can care about you maybe platonically. Maybe he cares about you platonically, but maybe not so much romantically like you do. And so, if he treats you poorly, nobody should be treated poorly. Let's be honest here. You should just not put yourself into a position like that. It sounds like there's a lot more negatives than positives within this slightly short statement that you've said here. So with that being said, I would, in my best opinion, I'm always here to talk more about it, but it's really best to try and move on from some people like this, no matter how much it's going to hurt, or at least distance yourself. At least put some distance so that you can try and get over it and then just kind of move on without any resentment building up. All right, with that being said, we're going to move on to the next one. Hi, this is about the SoftwillyTalks thing. Lately, I've felt drained and unmotivated, almost numb. It's weird. I just don't know how to cheer myself up at all. What can I do to maybe make myself feel a little better? Well, for the past, I would say 4 months, I was feeling this way. I was I'm not going to self-diagnose. I was just experiencing depressive. I showed depressive tendencies, let's just say. I felt numb. I would lay in bed all day. I would literally sleep all day, never reached out to anybody, didn't talk to my own parents, had suicidal thoughts. Nothing cheered me up. Nothing made me want to do anything. YouTube, I just didn't even want to do YouTube. I just wanted to sit in my room and do absolutely nothing. And what I noticed was, you kind of come to a point, hopefully, that you're like, wow, what am I really doing with my life? You have this self-realization, And if you haven't hit that yet, then let me kind of put it into perspective for you. You get one shot at life. You get one shot. You don't even know why you're here. You have no idea what your purpose is in this world. But all you know is this. You are put on this planet, and it is your goal to be the absolute best person you can be, no matter what it is. And then now you need to find a purpose. My purpose is making content for people and making them smile, or possibly making them happier. Trying to help them in any way, shape, or form. That has always been my goal. Always. I mean, I love to make people smile. So with that, I knew that I needed to give myself the appropriate time to gather what I was thinking in my head, and then I just needed to just start doing things for other people, like start editing and start making content, start making people laugh, because that's what I'm good at. You have to find something that you're good at, and you need to pursue it. If you don't know what you're good at, or if you don't have that, then you just haven't found it yet. Everybody's good at something, and that doesn't mean that you can't be good at something either. But the best thing I could say is to seriously clear your head through exercise. Exercise is fantastic. You have no idea. Exercise can do wonders for you. Sitting inside, staying stagnant is just super, super unhealthy. Okay? And then on top of that, healthy diet is obviously a part of, I guess, the exercise portion of it. But seriously, having a healthy diet really does help with a healthy mind. And then lastly, just kind of associate yourself with different people. I associate myself with all different kinds of people because I want to associate myself in different ways and just try and open new doors. I mean, I surround myself with very wealthy people. Why? Because I want to be wealthy. So as a result, wealthy, mentally and even, economically, I want to have a lot of money. So I associate myself with people who have a lot of money. Why? Because they shed off that little mindset rubs off onto you. The people who you surround yourself with, you will most likely be like. If you're going to tell me that you have a really crappy car, but all of your best friends have Lamborghinis, you bet your ass that you're going to try and work your ass off to get that Lamborghini. I know for a fact it will happen because you eventually become like those people that you surround yourself with. It's proven. So with that being said, you should probably surround yourself with some good people that bring out the best in you. And exercise and try and look forward to the next day and try and think about what you can do differently or explore as many options as you can to try and make yourself as happy as possible. It's really hard. It's really hard beating that numb feeling, but you're going to eventually, hopefully, get pissed off at yourself. I got pissed at myself. I was like, man, what am I doing? I'm sitting here wasting time. I could be making tons of content. I could be making tons of people smile, and yet I'm sitting here self-loathing and thinking about things that just I can't turn back and change, And that's where I conclude this with is that you need to just try and give it your best in life. You get one shot at this, and nobody can take that away from you. You need to try your hardest. If you fail, you stand back up and you say, okay, let's do it again 20 times harder. I'm coming back at it. And that's how you win at life. That's really how you win at life. And that's how you make memories. Just failing and standing up and doing it over again. Failing could even be just failing at getting motivated. But you know what? You figure out a new way of not failing, essentially. I want to briefly mention that another person had said something really similar, which is, again, why we have this channel here, is that multiple people have very similar situations. So in short, it's the same situation as before with motivation, except this person, their parents are getting upset at them, and so they're asking, can you please give some more advice to just being more motivated? And it all ties back to the same thing I just said previously. But I just wanted to mention that, this does happen on multiple occasions, and that's why, this brings light. As for one thing, though, I want to mention is that they say that her parents say it's just your period. If any parent says that's kind of like a red flag in my head. That's like, you can't just blame one thing like that. So right off the bat, I wouldn't even take into consideration half the time what your parents are saying. Like, don't disregard what they're saying, but at the same time, kind of take it like lighter with a grain of salt at that point, because anybody who makes a stupid remark like that just doesn't make any sense. And I'm not trying to put your parents down. I'm not trying to make you, separate from your parents or think that they're wrong, but that's just a wrong way to think. That I will never understand that mentality. of blaming it on just a period or blaming it on something else besides really trying to analyze it and people acting like they know what it is. So with that being said, try and listen back if you haven't already to what I had mentioned previously. All right, so this last one is it's a little long here, so you can really pause if you want to read it all. I'm gonna pretty much kind of summarize it. They kind of had struggled with severe depression and anxiety, or still currently do, and so as a result, they were taken out of school in hopes that it would kind of alleviate or fix things. But as a result, it kind of caused more problems at home with parents arguing and putting more stress on them. And as a result, they start feeling bad for their parents, guilty for their parents arguing as if they're the burden. And I want to straight up start off the bat by saying, never feel like a burden for your feelings. If somebody ever apologized to me and said hey, I'm sorry for feeling this way, I'm going to be like, why are you saying sorry? That's how you feel. If that's how you feel, you should never apologize for how you feel. I will never apologize for how I feel. If I feel like if my feelings are hurt, I will tell you my feelings are hurt. And I'm not going to be like, hey, yeah, this is 100% your fault. But no, you should just never really apologize for that. And definitely don't apologize for possibly being a burden or something like that. You're not at all. You're their child, and sure, it can be stressful, but you make it through as a family, and you make it work. Everybody makes it work. So, you said that you went back to school a month ago thinking things would change, but nothing did. Your friends are still kind of mean to you, and school's stressful. Yeah, and your social life is struggling. And yeah, dude, trust me, social life will struggle, especially once you get out of high school. For me, my social life is nothing. I literally don't have, I have my family. I have my family. Yeah, I got my online friends. I don't have anybody in real life anymore. After my girlfriend and I broke up, she was the last tie I had to really anybody physically. And as a result, I was genuinely lonely. I felt this, it was a different lonely. So, you got to try your best, to work with your depression and severe anxiety. I mean, again, I've struggled with, I guess, depressive tendencies. I am not going to diagnose myself. I had depressive tendencies, and I've had severe anxiety attacks, and they feel awful. I mean, they just make you feel terrible about yourself. But you got to try and work with what you have, but just don't endure it, and don't feel like you're the problem. That's just wrong. You don't want to feel like you're the problem. I mean, you're not. You're normal. You're human too. Everybody just handles things differently, and with your social life. I mean, I know that you said that your friends were supportive, and then again, you said that they're kind of mean. So, I mean, at least they owned up to, making fun of you a bit. That's really good. But at the very end of the day, man, just remember, it's only you with you. You need to understand yourself so that when other people do not, you won't feel crazy still. I promise you, understanding yourself is very, very important. And, I really do. I don't really know if I really answered this. All I can say is with depression and severe anxiety, again, I'm going to bring this up once again. I'm saying this because I mean it. Exercise seriously helps. Exercising raises and adjusts chemicals in your brain that just do and work wonders. Even if you don't want to do it, just try and do it. Listen to some music and just go for a walk. You don't even have to be, I'm not talking lifting some weights. I mean, I'm talking today I walked 10 miles almost 10 miles this morning. I was walking from 7 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock in the morning. I was just walking. I was clearing my head. It felt so good to just walk and feel fulfilled. And then I started jogging during that walk, and I was like, man, I can't stop here. You just got to keep on pushing. I promise you, it's going to happen. You're gonna get this little switch. You're gonna find this little groove, and then things are gonna change and flop. And hey, you're still growing. You're still growing. No one's expecting you to think certain ways, or you're still figuring out life. I'm 21 in 2 days. I'm 21 in 2 days, and man, I still don't have everything figured out. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, is there a certain expectation that I feel like I need to fulfill? Yeah. Is it overbearing at times? Most definitely. Do I get anxiety over that? Yeah, but I handle my anxiety differently. I mean, I stress eat. I anxious eat. I'm one of those people, which is why I've gained so much weight, and I'm working it all off now. With all of that being said, For all of these cases, my simple solution for this type of video is to really exercise. I'm going to say it now, exercise. You guys are probably going to be annoyed at me for that, but seriously, exercising is one of the best things that you can do for yourself, for your mind, for your body, it works wonders, I promise you. So with that being said, I really hope that I was able to help. Please don't hesitate to DM or comment down below some struggles that you have that you want me to talk about. I look for this because, I want to talk about this type of stuff. If I can be your outlet to talk about that, I can. My DMs on Discord are open. Please feel free if you're struggling with something. I could try my best to respond. I'm a little busy a lot, but I will always try and make room for somebody that is struggling. That's just there's no way around it. In my busy schedule, I will definitely make an exception for somebody who is seriously in need of help. So with that being said, thank you guys very much again for listening. I look forward to making more content on this channel, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.